Welcome to Corn Coast Conversations. I am your host, the illest in Nebraska, HAKIM. I'm here to bring you all content from all angles of life as a father, recording artist, entrepreneur, and business owner. I'm here to spark conversations on various topics from politics, conspiracies, music, culture, and current events. So join me on this journey through the lens of my human experience from right here in the Corn Coast. I'm excited to have you all along for the marathon. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a very special episode. It is episode number 5 with the woman of my life and many lifetimes after. This special lady really needs no introduction. You guys can see the smile on my face. Only one lady in particular can put that type of smile on my face, and that is SABRINA. So without further ado, this is episode number 5, Relationship Goals with the one and the only SABRINA. All right, let's start this episode. First of all,
Sweating.
You sweating? No, don't worry. I can't have, she's gonna be the only episode I removed these glasses. She does not like talking to me when she can't see my eyes. So with all due respect, the glasses come off for this episode. She's the only one that gets that type of special treatment. Wow. And then we are going to go ahead and really set the mood. I don't have a candle, but I picked these this morning just for you, my special lady. Hopefully those look good. Yeah.
It's a little sad.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm not really a flower picking person. I mean, I am on occasion. I just don't like to destroy Mother Gaia for personal reasons. But
sorry, my nose dreams.
For her, it'll do. All right.
They're beautiful.
Thank you. Just like you. All right, man. Let's get right into it, man. Let's break it off. Segment one. It's gonna talk about our early years. Can you recall how we met? Let's tell the viewers how we met. We'll tell them from your side and then my side.
If I can even remember, I might tell you all the time. I can't really remember.
The earliest thing that I do remember is
going to that party.
I just remember like Twitter DMs.
Okay, briefly remember.
Yeah, I just remember Twitter DMs. I feel like you was going through something on Twitter, and I just sent out the message like, "Yo, stay strong" type shit.
I thought I was supporting you through music. No.
It was something we was talking. I know for a fact, I feel like you were in an emotional state or something, venting on Twitter, if you will. And I just shot you a message like, yo, things will get better,
Oh, God.
type shit. And then we probably stayed in touch. We did somewhat stay in touch. She was supportive of the music. What came first? Was it the Tower show or when I asked you to be like a model for the clothing?
That's what led into it.
So, and then, first personal contact was she came to my very first show I performed at in my hometown, Lincoln, Nebraska, in the Corn Coast. It was at the Towers. It was a really good turnout. It was a really good show.
It was a good show.
And
I just remember asking my friend to ask you. I was with Jessica to ask if we could take a picture together.
There we go. Yeah. She knew what she was doing. She asked to take a picture.
See, this is where we...
This is
because you think I had other intentions. I didn't. It's more of like a... I don't want to say fangirling, but... thing. But yeah.
She wanted a picture. I gave her one. And I remember just specifically telling one of my guys, I was just like... I'm like, yeah, she on the radar. Yeah, fast forward, I had asked her to kind of model for some of the clothing that I was getting ready to release through the Corn Coast. She was down with it, everything like that. So stayed in touch. And then she bought some of my clothes a little bit later.
And he sprayed his perfume on him.
I didn't.
To make them smell good.
When I was folding up the hoodies and stuff like that, you know, I got cologne on. Some of my cologne rubbed off on the hoodie. Got packaged with her garments, and she loved the smell of it.
So I had to tell him.
And you know, she let me know like, hey,
not to be weird, but smell good.
Yeah. So yeah. Shortly after that, yeah, we started hanging out and stuff like that, and then
See that I kind of do remember, because I remember I was driving home. Sorry, I gotta get close to the mic.
Yeah.
I remember I was driving home, and we were talking about something about the modeling or something, and then you started talking about like food, like restaurants or something, and then you said something along the lines of what did you say? That I'll have to take you there. And that's when it kind of dawned on me.
Yeah. All right, it's getting serious.
Well, that you weren't in a relationship.
Oh yeah, at that point, yeah.
So that was kind of like, what do you mean? Or not typing.
Yeah.
Texting. What do you mean?
Right. All right. So yeah, followed by a series of dates. I was a server at the downtown Hilton Garden, and then I would bring her like these little like I call them HAKIM chinos.
Little frappes.
I made like these little like iced coffee frappes in the kitchen. I was mixing fucking hot chocolate powder with like coffee and like whipped cream chips. And chocolate chips, and I would ice it and I'd bring it to her in a Hilton Garden Inn cup. And
did you bring me chicken strips?
Yeah, I used to. As soon as I get off, I'll put an order in for chicken strips and fries, some ranch and shit. We eat that after.
Get me food.
Yeah, as soon as I got off, we would hang out. We'd have our coffee, chicken strips and fries, and we would just hang out. Yeah, and that's really how we first got in contact with each other. And yeah, then a few months later, you know, had our first child.
Oh God.
Yeah. Let's see. I had an icebreaker question. Was there any embarrassing moment thing that you did in front of me that you can recall when we first met?
Sure did a lot of cringy shit.
Yeah, but nothing really stuck out to me where I was like, oh, that was embarrassing. I'm speaking from my end too. Like, I don't think I did anything.
I feel like sometimes I don't remember anything, but I feel like I'll look back on lots of moments and be like, dang, that was a little fucking cringy or weird. I overanalyze myself and what I say and things to people.
Gotcha.
Even still to this day, I do that. But
all right. And then, so the next question is, if our relationship were a movie, what genre would it be?
I don't know.
It'd be like a rom-com. Is that what they call them? Romantic comedy.
Yeah, because it's not like strictly romance.
Nah.
I think we're more funny and goofy. If
anything. More funny, goofy.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not used to wearing headphones.
Lift that up.
Do I look like a dork?
Nah.
My headphones always give me headaches.
Okay. What was your first impression of me? And how has that changed over the years?
I don't even remember my first impression. Probably that you're cute. I feel like usually first impression is always like looks.
Physical attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then talking to you, I always thought you were funny. I feel like being funny is kind of like a big thing for me, I guess. I don't know.
Most definitely. Yeah.
Because I'm pretty quiet, and I feel like you're quiet too, but I feel like you're a different type of quiet. Yeah. I like to be in the shadows.
Yeah, she be in the cut. Sabrina be in the cut. I have a huge personality, but not everybody gets to witness and experience that.
Yeah, a lot of people I feel like are intimidated by you because they don't know you personally, but you're a fucking dork.
Yeah, I'm goofy as all out can be. I'm a big ass kid. Yeah, outside of the home, it's business. I'm out hunting. I'm out here taking care of what I need to take care of, and I still have a lighter side to me, but if we're not incredibly close, you'll probably never get to experience that side of me. So, so yeah. My first impression of Sabrina, obviously a gorgeous individual, beautiful soul, Um, just super patient, caring, has a just a pure soul.
That was like the first impressions.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like just off bat.
I guess I will say,
it was just refreshing.
Because when we first started talking, you told me that you met, or not you met, but you met. Well, I guess you could say that. You met business with like your music, so it's like music came first for you. And just me as a person, I'm not gonna like strip that from you or make you stop doing what you want to do in order to be with like me. So that came first for you.
Yeah, that was a super important thing that I told her off gate when we first met. Was like, look, I have this dream, I have these goals and ambitions, and those things come first. And I just set that bar just straight up in the beginning, and she was with that. She was like, cool, like I understand that you were driven, man. You were driven before I met you, and even if things don't go out, you'll be driven and pursuing what you're pursuing after me. So she was down for the ride, and that's somebody that I needed along with me. And from earlier on, studio sessions late at night, she was right there with me. If she didn't have a curfew, or she had to be home by a certain time or anything like that. Other than that, she was in the studio with me. She was pulling overnighters with me, just in my lap while I'm writing and writing and working and just working on music and stuff. She was right there. So
just being there to like be there.
Yeah, just being there to be there.
Just like, because I just wanted to be in the presence, but not necessarily like involved, because I don't need to be involved. But I just liked watching you work, I guess.
And that was one thing I love. Like, I don't need her to be talking to me. I don't need her to even be interacting. Like, I just want you there. I just want you. It's like, it's just an extra like little for me. Like, just obviously you always gonna be on my mind, and I'd rather have you not on my mind while I'm working. And when you right there with me, I don't have to think about what you're doing. Where you like, not necessarily like if she just out here sneaking about, but like, what is she up to? Like, but when she's just like, when she's just like right next to me, it's just comforting, and I can still knock out. It just gives you a little bit of just an extra oomph into, what I was working on, or I mean, still to this day, like I just like to have her presence, whether. I mean, I don't game no more, but whether she just in the room working next to me on a computer or whatever, and I'm just on the game, like, or just sharing each other's presence, just being around each other.
Not necessarily having to talk to or interact with each other, but just like being present, I guess.
Yeah. What were some of the challenges we faced in the beginning, and then how did we overcome them? What were some big challenges for you?
I don't know. I feel like there wasn't really much like the beginning, but I feel like every couple kind of goes through like that.
Yeah.
Like your beginning talking stages, like just kind of figure out and get the feel of like where you're at, where I'm at, but also you're like learning each other still, I guess. So it's like I had to like learn the things that you like, dislike. You learn the things that I like, dislike. Not that you're cheating, not that I was ever cheating, but you always kind of get that in the back of your head, kind of just like you said, just wondering. I feel like we used to always get a lot of like, well, because too, your shows. I feel like we got in a lot of arguments about your shows.
Oh yeah.
Just because I was kind of like in that phase of like, you can't talk to this girl, don't hug this girl,
right? Don't
acknowledge this girl. If some girl talks to you, you just say, "Hey, what's up?"
Right. Yeah. No hands around the. Yeah.
But I feel like those were like the bigger arguments early on.
Yeah, and it wasn't that I was doing these things. It was just that.
I feel like I was in a spot where I was a little more insecure.
Yeah. Because I met you through the same interactions, so it's very understandable to have that same fear or doubt or just playing that out with somebody else in the same type of scenario. So
you just don't want the same cycle to happen. I feel
exactly.
But I feel like over time, and plus I was still younger. I mean, we were both younger.
We both were.
And I feel like that just comes with like growth, and then trusting your partner.
Yeah.
But also being confident, like in myself too, that you wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, and out of all the years that we've been together, close to almost 10 years, it'll be 10 years next year. Never had no instances with cheating. Loyalty is the biggest thing that runs deep with me. Yeah, ain't never no incident with cheating. Loyal to the soil. That's just how I've been with my businesses and everything else. So
yeah, and I feel like over the course of time, those arguments kind of just stopped.
Yeah,
and we really don't argue unless it's over something so
something
stupid.
petty, but we just mainly the underlying issue is not really so much the argument, it's just we be burnt out or overstimulated.
Yeah, I feel like it's overstimulated a lot.
Yeah, and it just come down to, but like our shit don't last no more than a few hours. Like
no, because you always
I do some goofy. Yeah, we just know it's like when it's time to come around. Like if we avoiding each other, like the moment we make some eye contact, we in the kitchen or brush by each other, it's just like
start laughing.
It's over. It's over. So which goes into the next segment of growth and change. So again, I'm gonna start a lot of these segments with a more of an icebreaker, something light and funny. Okay. If you could describe our relationship using a food analogy, what would it be and why?
Like a food analogy?
Yeah.
What do you
mean?
If
you could describe our relationship like a food, or
you had to break it down for me.
Let me start.
Okay, yeah, you go.
You can interpret it kind of in your own way. So okay. I would say I'm going to pick a food, I guess, or a meal. I would describe our relationship like eating at a we not in a Michelin star restaurant, but we in a borderline mom and pop shop that offers a full course meal, if you will. So what I mean by that is that our relationship has it all. We have the dessert, we have the entrees, we have the appetizers. It feels complete for me. But it also is not a Michelin star restaurant to where it feels like we need to dress or meet a certain dress code to eat at this type of restaurant. We're not trying to fit in. We're not trying to be anybody else. We're not fancy. We're not bougie or nothing of that nature. We have a good time making it happen with just what we got, exactly like a mom and pop shop would. Simple ingredients, clean ingredients. It's not complex. It's a good time. It's a good time. It's authentic. It's genuine. And yeah.
So I might just copy you.
That's fine. We finish each other's sentences anyway. So,
God.
Yeah. What's the weirdest habit you picked up from me over the years, or vice versa?
A weird habit?
Yeah. Or something that you do like me? Not necessarily
habits, yeah, but I feel like I'll speak like you.
Yeah. Pick up my lingo.
Yeah, that's what it is, the lingo.
The lingo.
And I don't notice I do it until like I do it.
Yeah.
Or like the laughing. Or did you get that from me?
I think you got that from me.
I got that from you.
I feel like so.
Yeah.
The the laughing. Yeah, the lingo. Even how she jokes and shit. She picked up a lot of my vocab and just my my comical side. Sense of humor is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah,
she picked
but you like to think I'm not funny, so.
Well, because when you're funny, it's really just me laughing at myself is really what it is. That's really all it is.
Oh,
but you'll never admit that. I guess, let's see, some habits that I picked up from you.
I'm sure there's a lot, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm having a hard time. Thinking of a million things, and I can't pin the tail on one. I guess mine's a little bit deeper than just a funny little habit. But I picked up patience, and these are all things I'm working on. Patience, nurturing, and just kindness. Sabrina, like I said, she just has the purest soul, and she's just so patient. Just even as a parent, as a mother, yeah, I strive to be as patient and loving and caring and kind as her. It's something I work towards being every day. I be so stressed, bro. Like I be dealing with all the businesses and stuff, and we got 4 kids, and I just, I'm human. That shit gets the best of me, and yeah, I look how Sabrina handles some of the same amount of stress, but in just different ways, and she just it doesn't really affect her in the ways that it affects me, and I admire that shit. And it's definitely like her superpower. And at times I'll be like, man, why can't I just do that? Like it can't be that hard, Hakeem. So that is one thing that I strive and try to be is I try to, and I am picking up those habits and characteristics and personality traits, but yeah, I'm working at it. That is something that I'm picking up and also trying to master.
If we're going off that, I guess I will say, and this is kind of how we get into like little arguments too sometimes when Hakeem puts his mind to like anything that he wants to do. He wants to be vegan, because before we weren't plant-based, vegan. I don't even know what I am. I don't eat meat right now, but
yeah, we're vegan.
Before, he's like, it's just like a snap of a finger for you. You'll just like do it.
Yeah.
The next day. And it's like me, I gotta work myself up. I gotta talk myself into doing it, so it can take me a little bit longer. But you can put your mind to like anything, and you'll just do it.
Yeah.
And you make it like easy. Same with all your businesses.
Yeah.
We do carry like different workloads, different stresses, but you're always doing something.
Yeah.
Literally. You don't stop doing anything.
Yeah. It never turns off.
Before, when we first were talking, like we said, music came first for you. And you went to school for hair to be a barber. You were in school. So what time did you start school? 8, 7?
I can't even remember what time school started, but I feel like it was like.
It was early. Like normal school, yeah.
8, it's like between 8 and 10 or something.
Yeah,
like
for
that.
Like barber school, you do that.
Yeah.
Then, I don't know, I can't remember if you would go work at the Hilton, and then straight from the Hilton, you'd go work on music.
Yep.
And then even when you were out of school, it was, I can't remember when you were still working at the Hilton. I don't think you were.
What?
It was just, then you would work from, like, when you would be in, like, your dad's shop, you'd work all day.
Yeah.
Then
literally.
go straight to working on music. And this guy wouldn't be home till, like,
1 or
12
2.
or 1, 2. Just like you wouldn't see him.
Yeah, I'd be home just to sleep.
So you're just always working, and I do like admire that about you, because you don't show your stress, but it's like I can tell when you're stressed, even though if you don't want to like tell me, I know.
Yeah.
By your like your demeanor, like your tone.
My fuses just start burning out.
Yeah. So I mean, I do admire that about you.
Yeah.
Just because you can hold a lot of weight and make it look good. So.
Doesn't look as good as you.
Shut up.
Oh, man. All right, so it's time to talk about the breakup. The breakup.
A lot of people don't know.
A lot of people don't know. Just again, because we not big on social media in the sense of, like, I have my social media for business. You hop on my social media, you're not going to see Sabrina. Like, you're not going to see my children every blue moon. I don't post no selfies. Like, I don't make a post and it's not related to business.
Mm-hmm. And with me, I don't know. It's a lot for me, just like posting, just with my business too. It's just social media is like a whole different thing. So just like even making personal posts, I just don't really do often. I don't really post my kids that much. Not that I don't want to. I guess I just don't.
Yeah.
I guess you could say it's like a lazier thing for me, but
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
So to get into the breakup, we had a breakup. This was year 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This was after 7 years of being together. And essentially what caused the breakup was personal growth with me and personal growth for her. And the way it worked was that we were growing together through the years on a very linear path, or let's go up, because I always feel like we're growing upwards. But we were growing very vertically intertwined together, and where we just started to evolve and grow as individuals started to align completely different, and we started to grow apart while also raising children in between. So what honestly really started it was majority of my growth, in the sense of how disruptive it was, because I am 0 to 100. And I would say a good chunk of it started with health and like food.
Yep.
So what really happened was, as I became more knowledgeable of how poisonous the food was, I became, I hate to use this term, but woke. I woke up. And I truly realized that the powers that be, the control system in place, the government, I realized the matrix that we were in, and I didn't want to be a part of it. And I did not want my children to be a part of it, nor Sabrina to be a part of it. I didn't want my family to be a part of it, or anybody that I cared or loved. And so that being said, the moment I learned, my algorithm got catered to everything towards that confirmation bias, which can be a good or a bad thing. But my confirmation bias started feeding me everything that I needed to see, from the food dyes and everything. And once I learned about these things, I can be controlling. It is a part of my program that happened to me at a younger age. I never mean bad by it, but my approach can always be better. But that goes to say, I wanted, like, we're not feeding them this no more. Like, we're not feeding our kids no more. This has red 40. This has monoundiglycerides. This has gelatin. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. And I would be judgmental, because I would judge Sabrina for the things that she would eat. And I would, anything, like, it would just be, it would bother me to a very high degree. And where she was at in life, she didn't see nothing necessarily wrong with it, in a sense of, oh, it's just a little bit here and there. Whereas me is like, any degree of amount is poisonous to our children or poisonous to our bodies. And if it's up to us and we can control it, how I seen it was, if we willingly know something is poisonous for ourselves and for our children, and we continue to feed them that or allow them to ingest it, then I just couldn't get down with the fact knowing something, and still disregarding it and doing the opposite things as, parents wanting to have the best for our children. But not even that. That was, like I said, that was the root of it. And it was just a trickle down effect, domino effect, to just a lot of arguments, more frequent. The arguments were more intense.
Because I also feel like I did say before, you go, like you said too, you go from 0 to 100. And when you want to switch something, you do it
overnight.
Me, I need to not think on it, but I just need more time and whatever. And especially when kids are like involved, you're so used to eating like a certain way or doing certain things in your daily routine that you can't just disrupt my routines overnight and expect me to just immediately stop dead in my tracks and do everything that you're doing. And I feel like we bumped heads on that like a lot. Not that also too being younger, not that I feel like age should really maybe play a role in it, but I feel like since you were older, you how do I word this? I don't know how to explain that. You had more life experience, I guess.
Yeah.
So like I was still like younger, so I was still like learning.
Yeah. And
still,
naive to
I
the
guess,
information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like too, a few years ago, food and all this alternative stuff, there wasn't as much as there is like right now. Because I feel like Lincoln is slower to hopping on health trends and like
Yeah.
whatever. So with like the kids, it's like, so say they like a favorite food or like candy or whatever. It's like I didn't immediately want to cut it out because that's something that they like, and I couldn't find like a replacement, I guess.
Yeah.
And not that I couldn't, sometimes I wouldn't want to find a replacement. But also too, I feel like I can be kind of like stubborn with if you're talking to me like a certain way, or if you want to do things like right then and there, I'm gonna be like a dead weight and like a block in the road to where it's like you're pushing me, so I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Type thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like we kind of bumped heads on that because like you are 0 to 100 and I'm like, takes me a little bit.
Yeah. And it was a very tug and pull. And I remember at a moment, we both felt like we were becoming anchors in each other's lives on both sides of the spectrum. Mm-hmm. She felt that she seen where I was heading and where she was at, and she wasn't ready for that ascension. She felt the anchor to my growth or my direction, and vice versa. Where she was at and where she wanted to be, it felt like I was an anchor, it just wasn't aligning with where she was at. And one thing that I eventually had to kind of come around to understand was that, we're 3 years apart, and this was about, I don't know, 3 years ago, or about 3 years ago. But aside from the point, I wasn't at that point in my life when I was her age. So why am I putting all these expectations on her when at her age, I was on the same bullshit, if you will. Mm-hmm. But I also had to tug and pull because it's just like, well, at the same side of the coin, I also didn't have a partner in my life that was giving me this information and was showing me better. So, but at the same time, like, everybody's just not going to be ready to receive information. Because one of my favorite quotes is, knowledge isn't power. It's the application of knowledge that gives you power. But also, knowledge is not for everyone. And at that time, she just wasn't ready to receive that knowledge.
And sometimes I feel like when you do learn something new, you jump down my throat.
Yeah,
so
I do.
I just don't receive information like that. I feel like it has to come like kind of like you're informing me, but you're not like forcing me.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't like to feel like I was being told what to do. So,
and that's something that was toxic about me, is that when I'm trying to teach, it doesn't come off as teaching and education. It comes off very, it's just my personality. I have a very strong personality, because when I find out quote unquote truth, or what I believe to be the truth, I feel nothing else is in consideration. Like, and that could be a very toxic thing for me, because we'll say 7.5 out of 10 times the knowledge that I'm trying to enlighten Sabrina with, or during our breakup period, it was valid knowledge. It was very valid information, and none of the stuff was necessarily like false, when it came down to the food in the matrix, if you will. But it would just be how I presented it to her. And case in point is that she always hears me say is, so Sabrina, and y'all significant others might do this too. You can tell them something a million times, but until they see that one influencer say something about it, or somebody on the internet or whoever else, they might hear that exact same thing. Then they take heed or listen to it. And I used to get defensive about that. I'd be like, bro, I've been trying to tell you that for 100 years, and now you finally want to listen. But it's because
it's
how I say it.
Yeah. Because it's not that I wasn't trying to. I feel like I was like trying, but sometimes it felt like my little tries and what I feel is like good.
Yeah.
I tell you this all the time. Still, it doesn't feel like it's good enough.
Yeah.
Because it's like as soon as I start in that direction, you want something else 10 times what it was like at first. So I felt like it was just like, okay, I did like that little thing, and now it's just like more. So it's like I'm a baby step person, but I will get there. Hence why we're here right now, because I feel like we both learned a lot. Because I did end up moving out.
Yeah. Moved out. We split. Yeah, we have we really split up. 2 separate cribs, and we did the whole thing. But to touch on before we move on to that in particular part, the reason why I'm kind of like that versus we just was raised different. I think Sabrina was raised in a more
just like
more closer on a gentle parenting, but like I guess more of a traditional, I don't even know what normal childhood is in America, but
just a basic American.
Just a basic American, yeah.
But also too, I wasn't an only child because I do have like a half brother, but he was older, so like the age gap is to where it's like he's not in the household pretty much anymore. So it's like, not necessarily like eating. Like they would we'd cook and stuff, but it wasn't like sit down because my parents were divorced. And they've been divorced since I can remember. So it's always just going back and forth to different households. So there was like fast food. I'm not saying that they don't cook, but it's just I feel like and being like the only kid. Not that I'm spoiled. But I'm like the baby. So it's just different.
Yeah, and I grew up on the completely opposite side of the spectrum. So my parents were together for more than half of my childhood. I think they put in 16, 17 years before the divorce. But I grew up 7 siblings total, including myself, where eating was a staple. I grew up in the Nation of Islam. So we were taught early on about just how to eat to live and the proper diet. And we just had different family just a different family structure, but it also came with a lot more toxicity in the home. I just had a completely different childhood. So the man that I am now, I'm high demanding in the sense of I kind of hold people to the standard that I hold myself. I just not in the toxic way, but I demand the highest version of yourself. And it's frustrating at times when I know the highest version of yourself. I know what that looks like, but you might not see it yet. And I know in what ways you can operate. And I just be wanting you to be the best version of yourself that you can be. And it's just frustrating at times when I'm not getting that, but that just boiled down to realizing that like, bro, like people are at their own pace in life, bro. Like you can't just demand the highest form out of somebody because you feel like you're operating at your highest form. So I had to understand that it's going to take some time. We were programmed for more than half of our life being raised different ways. So I can't expect you to operate at a type of level that I'm operating at. So
you operate very fast. So I feel like over the course of time, like I learned not to take it personal.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's
one thing I love about you.
How we get into like less arguments is I know you mean well, and I'm not taking it personal, and I do know I have changes still yet to be made.
Oh, put your hand up, man. That's one thing I absolutely love. Look, this is a very serious moment, but that's one thing I absolutely love about you is that you do not take that shit personal all the time, especially when you have every reason to take it personal. Like when my mood is just off and I'm just not being the loving person that you need me to be, you do not take it personal. That literally saves us from so many like arguments. And it's not, understand this, guys, this is not her being somebody that I walk on or walk over.
No,
or
far from it.
It's far from that. But like, she just understands, like, he is under a lot of, it's not necessarily stress all the time, but he just has a lot going on. Like, so if my mood is different or my tone is just not right for her, it's not her just shutting up and just like accepting it and taking it. It's her just completely understanding that her man is just, he's just operating in just a different spectrum of frequency and light that like she just understands. Like, and I love you and I appreciate you for that. Thank you for being so patient, so kind with me, and thank you for just understanding me. I love that about you. That's probably my favorite thing about you is not taking shit personal, because if the shoe was on the other foot, I'm taking all that shit personal. And that's just how I am. I be taking shit to fucking heart. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and she know that, and everybody that's close around me knows that too.
But I feel like that's just over time. I realized that how you would come at me, it's out of love, and it's out of like a good heart.
Because I want better for you, us, and
And I know I can do better, and you know I can do better. It's just sometimes it takes me longer to do things. Because it's just like working out.
Yeah.
I watch working out videos. I'm going to set goals. I write in my notebooks, doing all this shit. But it just takes me to get a little pep in my step to actually be doing some stuff. Right now, I'm supposed to be doing the 75 soft. Skip some days, but
well,
hoping to get back into it. But it's just, it takes me longer, and it takes me to get that wind to get going. To where I get that little oomph of motivation, and then I'll be able to like stick with it. But forgot what we're talking about.
but yeah.
I don't take things personal. Because like I said, I know where your heart is. I know like you mean well. So if I can see that you're in like a funk, and I can hear the tone of which things are being said, and like I just give space a little bit. Usually after you eat, you're pretty good. So
just need a little something in my tank.
Yeah, usually after you eat, you're pretty good, and then you start talking to me. Usually I let you
I'll
talk
initiate.
to me, because then I can be like, okay, he's cool now. So
and that's one thing.
Take it personal. I know you mean well. So, and I feel like me getting older, I learned to not take things personal.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's big about me, and my dad knows this. I've always just been this way. Like, I will not talk about some shit until like
you're ready.
I'm ready. Like, something can be bothering me for days or whatever, but like it just won't take me the right space. Like I said, something just get a little bit of food in my tank or something, and then like even if she asks me about a certain topic and stuff, I'll be like, yeah, like it went good, like woo, and I'll tell her about it on a very superficial level, and then maybe that night after I eat or cooking, I'll be like, yeah, so that thing earlier, then I'll just really like comb through all the fine-tuned details and start yapping and shit like that. But that's me. So
I feel like even though we've been together for like 10 or almost 10 years, we're still learning, still figuring each other out, because we did have that big growth. And I feel like in every relationship, I feel like once you hit like that 7-8 year mark, you guys kind of do bump heads. because you both are growing as people and as your individual self. So I feel like every relationship has had like a big bump in the road, and I feel like you either grow together, you learn, or you just, that was your time that you needed to spend to get to where you are, and maybe that person is just not for you anymore.
Yeah.
But we were able to
figure it out.
Yeah. Which I think is pretty cool, because now, like I said, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't argue unless it's over just something so stupid.
Yeah. They ain't even
fucking
like
dishes.
We know it's like,
I don't know.
Like at this point, bro, we not doing like the sleeping in like separate. I'm on the couch. Like it is like it's a forever thing now at this point. Like
we kinda,
any argument, it's.
Well, we said that too. I feel like last time we set like a rule. Not sleeping on the couch.
Yeah,
not sleeping downstairs.
No matter what, we sleeping in the same bed. Like even if we not cuddling, like
you can roll to the left, I'll roll to the right.
But we in the same bed. Like we're not doing separate rooms or nothing like that. Like at this point, I could say after all the arguments and stuff, like I think we both solidified having this like sense of feeling in our bones and in our soul that it's like it's up. We stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Ain't nobody out there know you like I know you, and vice versa. Yeah, forever.
Oh God.
For life. Yeah, twit. Yeah, twit. Yeah. God damn. Oh, I didn't see you guys there. This commercial is brought to you by Honest and Sweet, one of the most authentic at-home bakeries there is out there. They hyper-focus on your health through clean ingredients. In fact, these treats are organic, plant-based, gluten-free, dairy-free, paleo, vegan, and most importantly, refined sugar-free, so you can treat yourself without guilt and a sugar crash. As a plant-based eater like myself, I can finally indulge in pastries and treats that will not cost me my health, and you all deserve that luxury as well. So go visit honestandsweet.com and place your order today. Oh, one last thing. If you use the discount code CCConvo10, you get 10% off. That one's on me. Big plant base. Now let's get back to the episode. So before we wrap up the breakup, let's tell them a little bit about, just very briefly, just what that was like. What did you learn in the time away from me? What did that feel like? What was that experience like, being away from each other for the first time, living in separate households? And yeah, what was that experience like? Did you learn anything?
I feel like in that moment I did realize you do a lot. And I feel like sometimes I would take things for like granted that you do a lot. So then also just being by myself, it added more load to like my load, and it wasn't as evened out. So I didn't like have it in perspective of how much like you do help. And also I feel like space is good for us.
Yeah.
Not even, it doesn't even have to be like days, just like an hour. Like you get an hour of like you do like your stuff, or like I get just even an hour of doing like my stuff without you or without the kids. I feel like it helps my mental.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it helps your mental to get just like that peace to like yourself sometimes. But also I feel like that's kind of like where I did learn not to take things personal.
Yeah.
Just kind of like reflecting on like everything, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a lot of things that I realized I could do better for you. Because I know you don't mean wrong or bad. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, oh man, that shit hurt. I don't like being alone.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't like being alone.
See, I feel like that's kind of different for me because you didn't grow up alone. And I feel like in my household, it was just like me So I was alone all the time.
So it didn't affect her like it was affecting me. And, like, that shit hurt me, too. Because I'm like, she seemed like she was fine and everything like that. And, bro, like, you know, the kids being mama, you know, mom, she the nurturing one. So, like, there'd be a few times where the kids wanted to stay with me at night. But for the nights they didn't, I was in this big-ass house just alone, bro. Like, going to sleep alone. It was a weight on my heart. I'm not gonna lie, but it was the biggest lesson that I needed to, because for the first time ever in my life, I was alone. Even when I was in North Carolina, when I was playing basketball, you know, several years ago, I had a roommate, even though I was very much alone. I had my sister out there, but, like, that was the only thing that was close to, like, feeling alone. Like, I felt alone in this house. But for majority of the nights, you got to understand, like, I grew up in a household of 9 members, including my parents. So there's always this noise and just, like, ambiance going on and just stimulation. And I come from I'm always stimulated, not in the sense of phone screens or movies or just music and shit like, but I'm always exposed to stimulation. And when I was alone for a few months that we were apart, it taught me a lot to be by myself. I had to find myself, you know, the focus on you, King. It was very much that. It was grueling. It was grueling. The nights, like I said, the nights of going to sleep alone, hoping that she would hit my phone. Because I very much still kind of tried. Even though we split up, I still wanted her. I still wanted you. I still wanted us. But I could tell she was burnt out with where I was at. And I was even burnt out, but I was still trying, knowing damn well I need to give this shit a break. Like, I was just scared that was going to be the end to us. So I always still kept this string attached. And I was still, like, trying, in a sense. Like, I would try not to, like, talk to her or come out when she was dropping the kids off and shit. But also at the same time, when I'm dropping the kids off, I would kind of linger in her doorway and be like, all right, you good? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and you can't look at them too much, because then that's where we start to crack like, smiles and shit.
We cracking. Yeah, can't crack a smile. Like, but it was so painstaking dropping the kids off there for the night. In my drive home back, just listening to music, like, you know, just also being away from my kids. Like, I'll see them every day. Like, I'll never be a father or, you know, a dad, if you will, that would ever see a reality of me not even going a day without seeing my children. But even them, you know, like I said, like, there was nobody in this household. But the one thing I did love was having, like, my place. That shit was, bro. I'm a
clean.
I'm a germaphobe / very clean schizophrenically, like,
schizophrenic.
So the first thing when she moved out and was getting all her shit out, the first thing I did, bro, I started scrubbing walls, getting stains off walls. Like, I tried to, like, repaint a little bit. Like, I'm a minimalist, so, like, I was getting rid of shit. Like, that's one thing I love. When I left the house for the day, I came back to the house being exact in order, just spotless, just like, and that's a part of the stimulation thing. And I think that is a I can't think of the word, but I think that is a stimulation response with being stimulated so much. That being so stimulated audibly, visually, and mentally, that I think the one thing that I require no stimulation is my environment, essentially my home.
Yeah.
With things, my material world can't be so stimulating, because I'm an artist and visually I need to be stimulated, and I'm a recording artist at that. So audibly I need to be stimulated, and I'm also a creative. So mentally I'm always stimulated, thinking about every way and in every way that I can create businesses or just think about our future. So I guess the one thing that I do not like to be overstimulated is my physical environment in my home.
Yeah, you still tell me this.
Yeah.
all the time. Not that I'm dirty. It's just
it's just not that she's dirty. It's just like I just don't like clutter, or I just don't like
kids, and it just gave you extra space.
It's just extra shit.
Like when my stuff was moved out, it just like was more space to like do stuff with, which I totally get because my apartment was like literally nothing. It was like nice because there wasn't really much to like clean up in there besides the kids going back and forth. But I do think I don't think the kids understood it, but I also feel like it wasn't too much on them because they still didn't get it.
Right.
But I still feel like in the back of my head, it was like, it's just temporary. Because I feel like how we always
find our way back to each other.
Yeah. And it was short-lived.
It was.
I was so lucky. I got
I got her back quick.
My landlord let me out of my lease quick. She was so nice. I didn't have to pay nothing. I was like,
nothing. Because I promise you it was like 4 or 5 months. Not even. It wasn't even half a year of us being apart. And I got her back, man. Got her back.
Yeah. It was the moving process.
The moving process was ass, but whatever. Says the breakup. Next question. I probably already know the answer. I really don't even need to ask it. Is there anything about our relationship that you wish you could change or improve?
No, I think over the course of time, if you asked me this question before, but I feel like we passed that hump, and we know how to better communicate with each other. You know how I like to be talked to. I know how you like to be talked to. So I don't think you're working on being more patient. And I do notice it and I do appreciate it. So I don't.
Everything that caused us to break up is more than improved now at this point. So now we are back growing in a very, our ascension and our growth is intertwined, and we are back aligned, and we are both on the same ship rowing in the same direction. Yeah. Next question is let's let our viewers know, how do we handle changes in our lives with career shifts, personal goals, and how that impacts our relationship. We indirectly talked about a lot of this through our conversation. With career shifts or anything like that, whether it's a little bit of added stress to me or just something temporary, whether I'm opening up another business or starting another business endeavor. Again, she understands where I'm at with stress and stuff like that, and she's able to accommodate that through being an extra hand around the house or anything of that nature. So if you want to add anything on top of that, cool. Let's see what else we got here. A lot of these things we kind of touched on indirectly, but how would you describe our communication style?
I feel like it's good. I don't really know what you'd mean by like the
style in the sense of like
sorry.
I guess, how do we communicate with each other? We're not like big on like sit down, tell me how you feel.
No, it's kind of random.
It's more random. Like we know we know each other so well. Like we know what we're feeling and we know what I guess needs to be said, but we don't have to sit down and what's understood doesn't need to be explained. So like I know where I fucked up. She knows where she messed up, or she knows how she said something. I know how I said something that triggered her, and we're gonna get right. We're gonna make up. We're gonna get back on track.
The thing that we are working on right now is just apologizing, because sometimes I don't want to apologize sometimes.
Me neither. It's hard.
So
it's hard.
It's hard to just
say where you was wrong.
Hey, I'm sorry.
I was wrong. My fault. Yeah.
So I feel like that's what we're still like working on. But I feel like communication wise, it's
good. And for our parents out there, this is one thing I implemented and started. Just a few months ago, that I wanted to work on. So the same way, this is very important. The same way you argue or have disagreements in front of your children, you need to make sure, and I heavily emphasize, make sure your apologies and your communication need to be shown in front of your kids, in front of your children, so they understand what that looks like, because I grew up in a household where, I'm not even gonna lie, for the first time actually thinking about this, I don't think I ever seen my parents communicate after a disagreement. Not saying that they never did, but it was probably behind closed doors, because I can't think of an instance.
Not in front of you.
Not in front of us. So now when me and Sabrina get into disagreements and things get heated, voices get risen, or we raising our voices. Once that subsides, we make sure our children, we front row and center, we sit them down and we go just like this. Sabrina, I'm sorry that I, raised my voice at you. That wasn't the right way to talk to you. I'm sorry for doing that. I'm sorry. And Sabrina will reciprocate the same energy if she was in the wrong. And we make up. We give a hug, kiss, but it is very important for your children to see you get back on good terms the same way y'all in a disagreement or in an argument. That is very important for all my parents out there.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's good for the kids to hear that, witness that, see that, because we don't try to tiptoe.
Yeah.
Not that you should argue in front of them, but our arguments aren't ridiculous. Voices do get raised and stuff, but so I feel like it's important for them to know that we're not these picture perfect.
Yeah, not at all.
Parents.
Not at all.
But as long as we can make up and apologize and show them that it's okay to apologize.
Yeah.
I feel like that helps them.
Yeah. It's a very healthy, well-balanced ecosystem for our children. It's a very good environment for our children. They need to see what disagreements look like.
Yep.
Your children need to see what arguments look like, because when they go out into the real world and it's time for them to get into their arguments and disagreements, they need to see conflict resolution. They need to see ways in which they can resolve conflict. They need to see in ways what it looks like to right their wrongs and admit where they went wrong and apologize and say sorry. Again, it's hard for us because we didn't grow up in environments watching our parents. Again, her parents were divorced. My parents divorced after, several years, but I've seen my fair share of arguments from my parents. I don't know if you've seen a fair share of those, but again, I'm sure we can both agree that we didn't see great examples of our parents making up in front of us and showing what conflict resolution looked like for us. So, yeah.
Because I noticed that when we do make up around them, their faces light up, because I feel like they don't understand why we're fighting. And it's like I said, it's always over stupid things.
Yeah.
So when we do make up, they just big smiles on their face.
And they ask, why was mama screaming at you? Why'd you yell at mama? Why did you say that to mama? And bro, the kids will ask, they're curious. It's and even if they don't, do not think for 1 second that your kids do not. I mean, for my parents out there, y'all know y'all kids are sponges, and subconsciously they are picking up every single thing that you do, every habit, every movement, even telepathically. They pick up on your energy, your vibrations, your frequencies. When your mood is off, they pick up on that. So it's very important to be mindful to teach them what is going on. Why were you and mom having a disagreement? And if you can't break that down to them in a simplified form for them to understand, take the time to do so they can understand. It'll just help them grow. It'll help them grow and be a functioning adult someday, that they know how to process and regulate their emotions. Yeah,
and it's not to say that we just sit here and just flat out argue all the time in front of our kids. It's just sometimes the arguments start and they're in the living room.
Yeah,
and I don't feel like taking it
going upstairs. Yeah, it's just it's never it's not violent. It's not, like I said, it's a very healthy ecosystem. For them to see these things, and
there's no physical violence on our end. There's nothing.
None of that.
Like that. It's just
they gonna see that.
Get raised.
Yeah, they gonna see that.
it happens.
Yeah,
so.
They need to see it, man. If there's any example that we want to set and we want to be, it's coming from our home. I don't want my kids to learn what parents argue about or what that looks like from anybody else but us. Mm-hmm. So when it's time for them to, grow up and get into relationships with their partners and significant others, and when it's time for them to argue, they will recall what it looked like from mom and dad, and they're going to probably do the same things we did. So if we're not doing the healthy things, then there is a repeated cycle, and they will be having to break a generational curse once again. Yeah. All right. Segment 4, intimacy and connection. If we had a superpower as a couple, what would it be, and how would we use it to our advantage? It could be like a duo superpower. It don't have to be like a culmination of like one superpower. Like we would just be like, not necessarily Batman and Robin, but like we can have our own little thing. I kind of already
mind reading stuff.
Would that be like yours or?
Maybe like together. I feel like we work good.
Yeah, together. I like that. So you're saying that we would have a telepathic connection.
Yeah, because I can say a lot without saying a lot.
Yeah.
And you say a lot without saying a lot, but it's just like I know what you're what the fuck you're thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Telepathic connection. Bet. All right. Yeah. All right. Usually she not good with the deeper intellectual questions like
no, I didn't want to come on the podcast.
Yeah,
no,
she didn't want to
do. I just it's out
she
of my
think
comfort.
She was a talker.
I don't. Oh, I'm a yapper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But
in front of a camera is a different story.
No, it's a little.
Yeah.
I don't like to be put on the spot. It's like my thing, and just I'll be in the back. You do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Just like your shows. Yeah. I like to be there.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be like.
Yeah.
On their stage.
If Sabrina was somebody in life, she is essentially the passenger princess in life.
Yeah.
Just down for the ride, just kind of wants to be. Yeah.
It's like honestly, I want to be involved. I don't want to be seen.
Yeah. She just wants to be down for the ride.
That's why if you ever became famous, it's only a matter of time for you, to be honest with you. But I'm there for the ride.
Yeah, she's there for the ride.
Don't invite me on.
Yeah.
Podcasts, TVs.
Yeah.
Just not on stage. Don't want to. Nothing. It's just not. I don't like limelight.
Yeah.
So.
Nah.
And I feel like that is good for you.
Yes, it is. It's perfect. I don't want Sabrina. I never wanted a partner that. And this is one thing that I loved about her early on. Like I don't want my female to just be always wanting. And again, this is not me keeping my female in the shadow or nothing like that.
No,
but like,
keep me in shadow.
But I never wanted no female that's just out and about all the time, always taking pictures, selfies, just wanting to be seen all the time. Like, because that says a lot about you. In the sense of, and we're not gonna really get too in depth about that, but
I got sidetracked.
There's always a root to every thing that you do. So, and this is obviously not every female, not every male, it's not everybody, but somebody that wants to be seen all the time may feel like they're not getting seen enough. And I think that's one thing about her. Like, she gets all the recognition. She know that she know that she the apple of my eye. Like, she get all my attention. So
I feel like that's hard for you too, because it's like if we grew together, and I feel like your career just started taking off. So I feel like if we were to ever split, I always thought it might be harder for you to find somebody genuine.
Yeah.
That doesn't want to be with you for that limelight reason or for who you are.
Yeah.
But rather I'm with you not for who you are, what you do, not because you're HAKIM, but because of like who you are as a person.
All right.
Does that make sense?
And that's one thing. Yeah. You see, you don't find They don't make them like these nowadays.
So
They don't. They don't. They don't make them. They don't make them like you nowadays. They don't make them like you no more.
So if you
real genuine
ever wondering where I'm at, I don't pop up nowhere.
Yeah,
because I don't want to.
She don't want to, bro. She just really don't want to, man. Like, yeah, that's my bean, man. Goobs. Got a couple more questions.
Shoot 'em.
We kind of answered this. How do you find intimacy in our relationship?
Just being around you.
Yeah, just being around. Like,
I feel like that's a big thing you need to learn. You need to learn. What is that stuff called?
Love language.
Love language. You need to learn people's love language.
See how we finish each other. Like, we just
like finish it. Yeah, love language. It's different for everybody, and if you know it on your partner, then I think you guys will be good and set because each person is different. They take things different. What you like, they might not like. I'm not big on like touch. I will say because I get touched. I get touched out from like the kids
by the damn
stuff.
Kids.
I love them to death.
Yeah,
but it's always mom fighting sometimes. Love them. It's just it can be a lot, especially for somebody like me who didn't grow up as in a chaotic environment with other siblings like that. It was just me and my peace and my time. So it got disrupted a little bit. So I always get sidetracked. I start talking about one thing and then I forget what the hell I'm talking about.
That's
I was going somewhere with it.
Your love language.
But love language.
Tie back to the love language.
I do sometimes. I refer to you as my battery.
Yeah.
My battery gets low quick when I'm talking, especially my job. I love my job, but talking to people, it like drains my battery. Yeah. So sometimes I need hugs.
Yeah, she need her battery charged. And they go just like this. Look, I ain't gonna get up and hug her, but what it usually I do just like this. Me being such a goofy person, I know her battery is drained. I'll be like, I said, all right, it's time to recharge. I'll give her a hug and I'll do just like this. I'll make the same sound effect. Be like,
and my battery gets recharged.
And it gets charged like instantly. You could just tell, like it just like I'm taking that negative charge away from her because I can hold that on me. And she just back charged. That's just all she needs.
I need that. Mm-hmm. But my love language too is not so much gifts.
Yeah.
But
hold on. Let's tell each other's love language. What's my love language?
I feel like you like when I like do things like pick up the slack that you need help on, or if it needs to be done, you like
acts of service.
That's what it is. Acts of service. You like when I actually do things for you. Yeah. To show you that I am listening, that I care, and that I'm like present.
Yeah. And your love language, I would say, is one-on-one time. And what you were kind of getting ready to explain, so I wanted to cut you before you said about
I get
it. On top of that one-on-one time, time spent, and I just hate to use the word like money spent or anything materialistic, but like there's nothing wrong with like food. So obviously I cook and everything like that, but like she just wants to go on a good date, like good one-on-one time, or just like a good gift, like, you know, just like a good gift, like that lets you know that like you thought about me and you paid attention to something that I said I wanted.
And gifts, I'm not materialistic.
Nah, not in the slightest. She is not. No bags, none of that shit. And that's another thing they don't make them like this no more.
Gifts, it could be you bring me a chocolate bar.
Yeah, literally could just be a fucking chocolate bar, and her ass would be like, oh, look at her, she know. She know, wow, big guy.
Oh, look, God. Yeah. When he comes back from vacation for whatever, if he goes somewhere, anywhere, he brings me back hoodies.
Yeah, t-shirt, hoodie.
I like hoodies.
Little trinket, something. I gotta let her know, like I thought about her, like.
So I'm not materialistic by any means. I don't need the most expensive thing. I don't need, literally, it could be anything. The flowers, like, I don't need anything major. If anything, I'm the gift giver. I love gift giving, and I don't care to receive in return. Just take me to. We go to the same date place every single week.
Yep.
Blue Orchid.
Yep.
That's my place.
That's
Take me there.
That's a spot.
Or even if you were to order it for me for DoorDash, through DoorDash.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Cool with me.
It's just the act of
it's doing it without me asking.
Yep.
Giving me things without me like asking for it. Is what I like. Yeah. But yeah. I'm pretty easygoing. So.
Yeah, definitely. All right, segment 5. This is gonna kind of wrap up the end of this conversation. So this one's gonna be about future aspirations. What are your hopes for the next decade of our relationship? The next 10 years, what do you think that looks like for us?
I think we'll continue to grow.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to see.
Yeah. More growth.
Yeah.
A couple more kids. Some of our long-term goals, a crib with some acres, successful, flourishing careers. Yeah, just more growth, more maturation, more peace, more happiness, and more freedom.
Financial freedom.
Yeah, financial freedom.
Once we get the businesses going.
Yeah. More ownership of the things that we, mainly freedom, because that freedom is just going to alleviate the stress between us and allow us to really pour into each other and really operate in a place of love and not so much, mainly on my end, operating while in survival mode and also remembering to reciprocate the love. So that's what I see it looking like for us. In what ways do you think we can continue to nurture and strengthen our bond moving forward?
I think if we keep doing what we're doing now, not take things personal, hear each other out. I feel like that's a big one. I just feel like the taking things personal is like the biggest, because I need to hear where you're coming from without my feelings being involved in how you are feeling. And the same with me. Because I feel like it's easy to, when you're explaining your feelings to me, I feel like it's easy for me to shut you down in what you're feeling because my feelings are hurt. And I'm still working on that.
Yeah, so. Definitely. Likewise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing a great job, though. You're doing a much better job. And yeah, I appreciate you for that. The one thing I just always appreciate you for is that if I voice something and I feel like it's something that kind of continuously pops up, you really do work towards it and work on. It takes a little bit of time, just like it does take me time for certain things that you want to see me improve on. But you come around. You always come through for me.
Just takes me longer.
Yeah, that's all right.
Just gotta be a little patient.
That's all right. I'm not going nowhere. I'll be here for a little bit.
Oh God.
Which ties into my next question. What? I'm not even gonna look at the screen for this. Close your eyes. Hold my hand.
Oh God.
What does life look like for us? What do you see right now? Life for both of us at 80 years old. What does it look like for us? What do you see?
Kids. Maybe grandkids. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely
that
grandkids.
Age number would be
at
good,
80
but.
for sure. Definitely grandkids. Yeah.
Just success on all parts, I guess.
Yeah.
Happiness, I guess. I don't know. I'm getting dizzy with my eyes.
Yeah, I see. The first thing I thought of was kids, grandkids. I guess in a deeper level, I envision us sitting back on a generational family home compound, if you will. Fuck all the business accolades. All that shit really don't matter. I just want to see a yard, a home full of love, a few generations of seeds that started with us sitting back and just admiring the lineage, admiring a life full of commitment and love, and seeing that directly translate into our children, into our children's children, and hopefully we have a couple great grandchildren. That's what life looks like for us and down the road.
Were your eyes open that whole time?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I peeked to see if your eyes were still closed.
I was like, dang, you gonna leave my eyes
No.
closed, dude.
And then, last but not least, what do you love and cherish about me the most?
Oh, God.
You feel me?
Oh,
What do you...
Here we talk about you.
What do you love and cherish about me the most? I'm listening.
Put on the spot. Shit, hold on.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Just that you can manage a big workload.
Yeah.
I don't say it often. I'm working on that too, but I do appreciate your workload and how much you do cater to make sure we're all good,
right,
while also trying to maintain all your businesses and work towards what you want to work towards. I notice how much work you put into it. You're getting better at like your patience. You're getting really good with like your patience. I see how you talk differently to like the kids sometimes. When am I getting that? Just your demeanor and everything is like different. Hold on, scrap that. Just delete that before I can.
Nah. We ain't no cuts. We ain't no cuts. Get it off your chest.
I can't talk.
Get it off your chest.
I don't even know how to put my stuff into words.
I understand. Hold on.
Oh, hold on. I'm getting hot.
You've been hot.
I like being put on the spot.
You've been hot.
Like you mean well is like what I'm trying to like get at. Like, I see how like your growth has like changed and how like you want to do better for us, not just for like yourself. What was the question?
Yeah, I mean, what was the one thing you cherish and admire about me the most?
I think it's just like your worth ethic. You're like, because at first I want to say like, you're kind of just like a hard ass sometimes, but I feel like you're getting softened a little bit. But like still like you mean business, but you also you take care of business, but you're still driven. You're really driven. I feel like I'm going all over the place with things. I do not like being put on the spot. Can we cut this?
Nah,
Okay.
Nah, because it's my turn now. It's my turn.
No, because I feel like I didn't say nothing.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Bro,
I didn't say what I wanted.
Let me get my shit off, and then you can come back.
Like I'm copying you.
Nah, because it's just totally different things.
No, it's not. Oh my god.
Sabrina, my love.
Oh,
my heart.
see, this is easy for you.
Sabrina, my love, heart, and soul. We talked about several things that I love about you the most, but I guess the one thing is just you're forgiving. You forgive me for all my faults. It's almost you give me room to grow, but also in that same void of space, you give me comfortability to know I can fuck up. One thing I've always loved, like, and this sounds so strange, and I've always said this to her, but it never gets heard in the right way. But we have a few different type of relationships. One way I always tell her is that I always feel like she my child, in the sense of like I be trying to like raise her in the sense of like sometimes in the business world, or like just working out, or like, just disciplinary things. But on the other side of the coin, for those that know are going to know exactly where I'm coming from, but I have this very child and Sabrina is my mother type of relationship, because the nurturing that she gives me the space to express myself without being judged. Like, Sabrina feels like home for me. Like, I can express myself in ways that I can't express myself to my friends or to the world, and I can just do it without the worry of being judged, or without the worry of knowing that I'm gonna get abandoned. Like, no matter what, like, I can't do no wrong in her eyes. Obviously, there's the cardinal rules, whether it's cheating or things of that nature. Just bridges that you can't cross and know that you can't come back to. Aside from those, I can't do no wrong in her eyes, and she knows that I never come from a place of not being genuine, or again not wanting better for us. How I do it and the ways I may do it may be wrong. My approach may be off, but aside from that, yeah, just being so forgiving and so kind and so pure. So yeah,
just put me in fucking shame.
I love you for that.
Cut out your words, dude.
I felt everything that you said.
Mine was cheesy.
We just different. No, we just different. Yeah. We just different. We just break things. I'm an artist, Sabrina. I'm poetic.
I know.
Yeah. So I know, even though you said it, look, you said it in my voice translator, my inner dialogue, it gets filtered through a poetic screen. So I know on a deeper level what you mean, even though it comes off as
not
red, green, blue. It came into a different color spectrum for me. So like I see and heard it all on a very deep level. Okay,
ask me a question again.
Sabrina, what do you love and cherish about me the most?
What do I love and cherish about you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just use like, you got extra deep. But
you did too, but
the silence in the mic. Don't think I don't like you, please. That's what it seems like right now. Sabrina, like I don't like you.
I know what it is.
You're very driven. You carry a lot without showing a lot. Even though you do wear your heart on your sleeve, I feel like you carry it with such like grace.
Yeah.
That people on the outside won't ever know truly what you're feeling because you don't show that. You make it look easy. Almost where I feel like I could open up all these businesses and be just as graceful as you, which you just make it look easy. You're very playful. I'm not that playful, especially with like the kids. Yeah. You're very like, you're playful.
Goofy.
Yeah. I love that about you. I love watching you play with like the kids because you truly like make them laugh, like the genuine belly laughs with them. You make me feel heard and safe. Like I said, you are like my battery pack. Sometimes I just need to be like around you in order to be energized or to get like that, just not be as just to be energized, I guess. I like kind of just like you're like my safe area. I like having you around when I like, if I do shoots, just as like a comfort, like my comfort blanket, I guess is what you could say, is I could call you. Right. You're peaceful, I guess, is what I could say.
Yeah, we're each other's peace.
Yeah.
And I love you.
I love you too.
Cool. That is going to wrap up episode 5. We're going to end it right here. This is episode 5, called Relationship Goals. And not to take too much of y'all time, the reason why I named this episode, relationship goals, is not because I want your guys' relationship to be like ours. It's to show the world and to show anybody that is looking to be in a relationship or is in a relationship, to provide goals that you guys should have as partners and as a relationship, goals that we can only hope that you set within your relationship. We don't want you guys to be like us, and nor do we strive to be like anybody else's relationship. But you and your significant other should have these goals that you are trying to achieve in your individual relationship in order to create unison, in order to create harmony, and to create a beautiful matrimony between you and your partner. So that is going to wrap up episode number 5 with the love of my life, Sabrina. If you guys got any light, laughter, enjoyment, love, wisdom, please reciprocate the energy. Give us a like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, share it with your partner, or just sit down. What I would love the most is sit down and watch this together. And that concludes this episode on Corn Coast Conversations. I am your host, the illest in Nebraska, HAKIM. Again, this is the love of my life, Sabrina. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. You guys have a beautiful day, have a wonderful day, and have a day filled with love, life, and laughter. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.